It's week 2 of the Derry Farm Fantasy Football Challenge. Coming up, previews for these week's matchups right here on Derry Farm Television. What's up? Derry Farm Fantasy Football Week 2 matchup of the week. Believe it or not, Tim Magoon, Team Pizza versus Toby Heath. Team Get a Job. Toby already commanding a 152 to 143 projected lead. Magoon had 3 guys going Thursday night. Fell behind big time. Cam Newton, weird guy, weird quarterback. Not sure what to make of him. Projected for 21 points. Instead, he gave 11 points and dressed up like a grandmother. Carolina looking for 7.5 points from Magoon. Got 6. Curtis Samuel a little bit over, but Team Pizza trailing early, 152 to 143. This matchup has some fantastic wide receivers. Devontae Adams versus Michael Thomas. Antonio Brown, what's up? AB17, don't go to jail. Fuck Roger Goodell. Antonio Brown's a Patriot versus Odell Beckham Jr. That Cleveland offense looked like shit in week 1 versus Tennessee. What's he going to look like this week? Who knows? And then the wide receiver 3 matchup, Curtis Samuel already chipping in 14. Tyler Boyd's got to match that or exceed it. He could easily exceed it because everything's going to run through him for a little while A.J. Green's out there in Cincinnati. The wide receivers, Magoon's wide receivers, a little boring. Running backs, a little boring. Travis Henry, David Montgomery. Montgomery's not quite the lead back in Chicago yet, so we're still waiting on him, similar to Miles Sanders in Philadelphia. But Toby's got Phillip Lindsay, who is the lead back in Denver, and of course, Dalvin Cook in a run-first offense in Minnesota. Stud. Cook stays healthy. He's going to be a beast all year. Top 5 guy. Magoon give him the nod with Ertz over Davis at tight end. Flex position, very interesting. Got Tyrell Williams, touchdown machine. No Antonio Brown in Oakland. Look good in week 1 versus John Brown in Buffalo. Buffalo sucks, but Allen's going to feed the ball to Brown because he's the only good player he has. Don't let anyone tell you Zane Jones is good because he's not. And then, rest of the way here, Buffalo. Toby's playing Buffalo against the Giants. We know the Giants are going to suck. And Magoon was under with his defense. So, Marlon Mack versus Matt Breida could be a big difference maker in this one. Breida will be the cowbell back there in San Francisco now that Tevin Coleman got hurt. Who's surprised by that? Nobody. Marlon Mack, is he going to be better in Indianapolis with or without Andrew Luck? We're going to find out. This one right now projected Toby 152 to 153. I'm going to give Toby the edge in this one. Final score 149 to 129. Toby with the W in week 1. Will be back in week 2. I don't know what week it is. Week 2. Toby with the W. That's my projection. We're going to go to our next matchup right now. All right, our next matchup of the week, Ron versus CK. Golden Taint, the Wonder Boy, wedding guy, our man, Ron Stroll, new to the league, won in week 1. He's 1-0. Good for him. He's projected to beat CK right now, 163 to 157. Very close matchup. Brady versus Rodgers. Who's the GOAT? I think we know the answer. It's not Aaron Rodgers. It's Tom Brady. Fuck anyone else who disagrees because they're dumb. We know better. Tom Brady, is he the best option in fantasy? He might be this year. Look at this freaking crew. Look at this team. Every time they count him out, he comes back. Tom Brady versus Aaron Rodgers this week, 163 to 157. Golden Taint projected to win this. Golden Taint, I like the running backs. I don't know what's going on with Le'Veon Bell. I personally think he's a bitch and a weirdo. The Jets are going to give him the ball. Is he hurt? I don't know. He's got David Johnson. Ron has a nice combo there. Could be studs this year. But go across the aisle. Look at CK's running backs. Nick Chubb, electric player, absolutely dominant in the backfield for the Browns. And Ezekiel Elliott, of course, that kid's going to be a beast the whole year and for years to come. So, I mean, this matchup really goes outside of that. These two teams have very good wide receiver groups, not stars. Allen, Cooks, Hilton versus Woods, Galladay, Westbrook, solid. But they're really built around the running backs. But where Ron has an advantage that I really like is Travis Kelce. Kelce is going to get a shit ton of targets this week. Tyreek Hill is hurt. Is it justice? I don't know. Is it karma? Who knows? Travis Kelce versus Delaney Walker. Yeah, I'm going to do Kelce every time. Flex position, we got Alshon Jeffrey versus Robbie Anderson. Again, I'm not a huge fan of that Jets offense. Anderson's going to have some big weeks. Le'Veon Bell's going to have some big weeks, but I would rather take Jeffrey every day. So in this matchup, we got Ron 163 to 157. I'm going to take Ron with 170, CK 149. Ron climbs to 2-0. Let's go to the next matchup. All right, our next matchup, Harold Bingo, Dunbarton Dominators. Andrew Cummings, absolutely dominant in the last 5 years in fantasy football. His team name supports that. Thursday night, mixed results for Andrew. Chris Godwin had a big night, projected for 14, went for 26, but Christian McCaffrey, what happened? 24-point game projected, comes out with 7 points. Missed a touchdown at the end of the night by this much. I mean, literally could have been an extra 6 points, and it wasn't. And that's just how it goes. So right now, Andrew is a 1-point favorite. Right now, 157 and 156. But not to be cocky, because I'm not cocky. You guys know me. I'm not cocky. I'm very humble. I think my team's going to win big, huge this week. Big weeks out of Harold Bingo. Look out. Here we come. Austin Eckler, a stud. What's going to happen? Sony Michel in Miami, 20 points. Count on it. Harold Bingo, 175. Dunbarton Dominators, 160. Book it. Let's. All right, we're back out here on the deck, getting ready. Represent Derry Farm, week 2. Don't fuck around. This is the big week. There are going to be some big-time players on waivers. We've already seen it. Tons of waiver claims in this week. Malcolm Brown, Terry McLaurin. Scary Terry is going to be big. That's my prediction. John Ross, who knows? John Brown, let's go. Let's see what happens with some of these players. We haven't seen any major injuries. Tyreek Hill, that's a huge injury. For me personally, nobody gives a shit. Nobody likes that guy. He's a piece of shit. He gets hurt. Nobody cries about it. But what it does is it sets up opportunities for other players to capitalize and get a piece of that Kansas City offense. McCole Hardman, what is he going to do? We don't know yet. But what we do know is that Pat Rogers is the #1 team after week 1. His team name is still mentioning me. Daryl can't count, even though I can. I'm a great counter. I'm the best. Believe me. I'm the best. Daryl can't count. Pat versus Nason, the uncrowned champions. This matchup was going to be my matchup of the week at first. I really like this matchup. Pat, #1 seed, had a monster week 1. What do you have? 208 points, the league leader. Andrew also with over 200 points. That's ridiculous. Pat, he had a Thursday night player, and he lost some ground. He lost some ground. Mike Evans, 10 points, looking for 15, 16, something like that. Not good. Godwin stole all the points coming out of that game. Jameis Winston is a mess. That Tampa offense, hard to trust him. Weird running game. Peyton Barber, Ronald Jones II. What's happening? Some African guy, I don't even know how to pronounce his name. Derry, something or other. Jameis Winston, I don't know what's going on. They're going to have to run with him because they got Blaine Gabbert, who is crap behind him. Straight crap. So it's going to be Winston. And is Arians going to ever give the ball to O.J. Howard? We don't know. That Tampa offense is weird. I've got Mike Evans in a few leagues. Pat's got him in this league, and he underperformed. He underperformed for him. It's a tough start. But Pat had a huge week last week and still had some guys underperform. So it doesn't really matter. Nason's projected to win this one by a coin flip, 157 to 156. I'm taking Pat 160 to 155. I think he pulls it out in the end. Pat goes 2-0 and leads the league the rest of the way here. It's going to be a long battle the whole year, but I really like the way Pat's built his team. So I'm going Pat week 2. Sorry, Nason. Sorry so much, but not that much. On to our final matchup. Okay, our last and final matchup this week in the Derry Farm Fantasy Football League. Lucas Cummings, Hong Dang, Assy Assemble versus each hit Mr. Shohei Ohtani himself, Jed Millett. Listen, Lucas's team already looks different from week 1, okay? He's already was in the feature matchup last week, looked like a strong team. Already he's looking not nearly as good as he did in week 1. 165 to 149 is a projection. Jed had DJ Moore going in Thursday Night Football, 18 points, target monster. DJ Moore is going to be a beast. As much as I can't stand Cam Newton, and I think he sucks, and he's way overrated, DJ Moore is going to eat, and Jed's going to feast off DJ Moore this year. Jed's got Mahomes. He's got Josh Gordon going today. Josh Gordon is sneaky going to have a huge year. And Kamara versus Barkley. This is a huge, huge running back matchup. Jed with Kamara, Lucas with Barkley. I love the matchup. But Luke last week started Baker Mayfield. Underperformed. Started Mike Williams. Underperformed. Now Mike Williams banged up, but he's active versus the Lions today. Luke's not going to play him. Luke's starting Drew Brees instead of Baker Mayfield, so already feeling a little bit unstable. I like Jed in this matchup. I'm going to go Jed 166, Luke 137. Bank it on Jed. I'm just taking what I think is the better team. Hong Dang looked good in week 1. Got some work to do the rest of the way. This wide receiver combo that he's got, Thielen, Fuller the 5th, and Algalore. It looks like a bye week wide receiver team. So, looking for more. Luke's won this league plenty of times, so we know that he's going to be competitive the rest of the way. But Hong Dang got some work to do. Jed in a blowout in week 2. 165, 149. Easily could be the outcome. I'm taking Jed either way. We'll see you next week. Let's go.